you're renting the house for $1,200 a month. And usually the deposit is gonna be same as the rent. So that's $2,400 you got to come up with. So why can't you just add another $1,100 and that will give you your down payment for a house that's $100,000. So if you got real bad credit, guess what? Most landlords are gonna require you to pay what? 2 months of rent plus a security deposit. So work on your credit, get your credit to about 580 to 620 and qualify yourself for FHA and not worry about paying the landlord this rent. Hey, good morning, world. How y'all doing out there today? Again, it's Marcus L. Lewis, man. I want to inspire you on today, motivate you, encourage you on today to dream big. Not going to dream big, don't dream at all. Hey, I came to you on yesterday, man. I broke down this illustration comparing buying a home versus renting a home. And again, I hope and pray that you found value in that video. But today, I want to illustrate to you how simple it is. I mean, in a very simplex manner, how you can purchase a house. Because many individuals think that you have to have this big astronomical down payment to put down on a house. I mean, for example, some individual, they're sort of deterred by thinking that, that the down payment has to be about 20%. So think about it for just a moment. If a house is $100,000 and a 20% down payment, that would require me to have about, what, $20,000? I mean, $20,000 is nothing to sneeze at. But there's a program out there that would give you the ability to put just a fraction of that down. Not nowhere near 20% on a $100,000 house. Guess what? There's a program called FHA, all right? The Federal Housing Administration. Been around since approximately 1934. And they implemented this program in place to help folk to buy houses because the banks were sort of complaining that they can't sort of back these loans, So the government responded by saying, you know what, we'll help back these loans. When it came out with the FHA, which is backed by HUD, all right, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so, as a matter of fact, to drop one on you, you remember during President Trump's presidency, it was Ben Carson who was the chairperson over HUD during Trump's administration. So if you don't know what HUD is and who was over at the particular time, now you know. But anyway, it was a program put in place to be backed by the government, and HUD backed the program. So that would allow individuals to be able to purchase homes and now the bank not be holding the entire bag. And of course, if anybody default on the loan, it was the HUD or the government that would take on responsibility of paying the banks those loans if anybody deferred on those loans. So come journey with me, and I'm going to show you via this illustration how you can get a house at a minimum percentage down by way of the FHA. Come join me. Okay, here we go, y'all. House buying 101. I told you just a moment ago, what FHA stands for, and Federal Housing Administration. And this came into existence, as I told you, in 1934, backed by the government. And so what qualifies you for a FHA loan? Well, I'm glad you asked. You have to have a credit score of about 580, all right? 580 should qualify you for a FHA. But not only that, you need a down payment of 3.5%, all right? You have to have W-2s, meaning that you have to have a job for at least 2 years. I mean, think about it for just a minute. I mean, somebody comes and asks you to borrow some money, and they give you all these reasons as how they're gonna pay you back. The first of all, you wanna know, do you have a job? The bank is the same way. I don't care how good your credit score is, you can have a maximum credit score of 850. But if you don't have no income, that's gonna give the bank this reassurance that you have the ability to pay back this loan. Guess what? You ain't gonna get it. All right? So you have to have a job. And not only that, you need 2 years of income taxes. So let me let you know another little secret too as well that comes to mind. When you have to show the bank your bank statements, you need 2 months of bank statements, because with the FHA, right, you can't borrow that money. You can't, have it underneath your sock drawer. In your sock drawer, underneath your mattress. No, they have to have documentation, that you've been having that money in the bank for at least 2 months. All right? Because if not, they're going to be questioning you. Well, if you only have 1 month of documentation that you have money in the bank, that will cover your down payment. So where'd you get the money from the first of the 2 months? So to alleviate, have to answer any questions, have the money sitting in the bank for at least 2 months to prove that it's been there, okay? Well, all right, here's an example. You purchase a house for $100,000, all right? Now, the required down payment, 3.5%. That means you have to come out your pocket with $3,500. So, the second example, if you want to purchase a house for $200,000, now you need $7,000 as a down payment. All right? So now let's compare this back to the rent piece. And we talked about that on yesterday. But this sought to give you a better view as to the benefits of buying versus renting. Now, when you rent a house, right? Certainly I'm also familiar with renting houses. Rent, you have to come up with first month rent and security deposit. So let's say, for the sake of conversation, you're renting a house for $1,200 a month. And usually the deposit is going to be the same as the rent. So that's $2,400 you got to come up with. So why can't you just add another $1,100, and that will give you your down payment for a house that's $100,000? So if you got real bad credit, guess what? Most landlords are going to require you to pay what? 2 months of rent plus a security deposit, right? So work on your credit, get your credit to about 580 to 620, and qualify yourself for FHA, and not worry about paying the landlord this rent. So get educated about this. Buy yourself a home. Stop renting. I told you on yesterday, it's better to buy the roof than to rent the roof. Tune in tomorrow. God bless you.